Hey, I want to talk about the secret to eliminating a lot of your unresolved joint pain or just chronic pain in general. So I'm sure you're tuned in this video because you want to figure out why you're hurting. And let's say you failed all these other treatments and nothing's working. Well, one of the secrets that I found and one of the things that I teach people in the clinic all the time is the concept of clearing the spine. But before we get into that, I just want to introduce myself if you haven't tuned into any of the videos so far. I'm Philip Mitchell. I'm one of the holistic physical therapists here at Mitchell Holistic Health. And we're doing a movement series on moving pain-free, moving optimally. And I felt like this concept of clearing the spine was so important because I have conversations with people every day talking about this. So let's define what clearing the spine even is. So when I'm talking about clearing the spine, a lot of people who come in, they'll have shoulder, and I'm really talking about extremity pain. Obviously, if you have neck or back pain, your therapist or your practitioner is looking at the spine because you're coming in complaining about it. But what I see a lot is people are coming in with shoulder blade pain, hip pain, random knee pain, tingling in their foot, and no one has ever looked at their spine. And so a lot of people are treating their hip when they have a back problem, or they're treating the shoulder when they have a neck problem. The problem is when you don't come in with pain in the neck and you have shoulder pain, if your movement looks pretty good, the therapist can be like, hey, you're good. But that is not enough. So clearing the spine is making sure that we're taking time to make sure that your pain actually isn't coming from the neck or coming from your back. Your body will let us know. We just have to test it the way we need to. So what we do is we take 5 or 10 minutes out of a visit to see like, hey, is this unresolved shoulder pain actually coming from their neck? And it's more than just like checking 1 or 2 movements. It's looking at 20, 30 repetitions of certain movements and say, hey, does that change your pain? Because what we say here in the clinic all the time is the body wants to heal itself. The body wants to move well. And so the only way you can know what your body likes is you have to test different movements to find out. And so that one of the things that we try to do is we try to catch those spinal issues that show up as extremity pain. I can tell you story after story. Honestly, it's hundreds to this point. One that really comes to my mind is this patient. When I was treating down in Alabama, he came in with elbow pain. He had 3 or 4 different injections, and he had MRI showing like chronic tendonitis of his elbow. But he kept on saying like his pain would move around and it was like different every day. And I was like, that's weird. Like if you have tendonitis, you would think it would be the same every day. And what we did is we screened his spine. So I screened his neck. I was like, hey, I actually think you have a neck problem. I don't think this is an elbow problem. And literally within one visit, he went from having over 5 out of 10 pain and weakness in his elbow to no pain and normal strength in his elbow. Now, this happened in one visit, and this is not common, but it happens everywhere. I would say the majority of people who come in with like trochanteric bursitis or pain deep in their butt, like that is pain that's coming from the spine. And if all you've ever done is looked at the hip, like you're completely missing it. And honestly, it's that aha moment that I get, and it's what I love about my job. Hearing questions like, "No one's ever looked at me that way," or "No one ever told me it might be my back." Like those are the things we hear a lot because we take the time on that first visit to look at it. We take time to look and screen the spine really well to make sure that we're not missing something really important. And it doesn't matter if you've had pain for 2 weeks or you've had pain for 20 years. I've seen someone with headaches on and off for 30 years go away with 1 or 2 movements within 3 or 4 visits. Like, she was like, I can't even imagine how many Tylenol I've eaten over 30 years. And I'm like, yeah, we sort of joke like, yeah, I bet that was horrible for your gut. And that wasn't when I was even talking about all the holistic stuff and what Tylenol does to the liver. But yeah, so in general, what I'm trying to do today is I want to explain like what clearing the spine is. And I think we've talked about that a little bit. But I actually want to start giving you solutions. So in 5 minutes a day, I'm going to give you an exercise for your neck, and I want to give you an exercise for your back. Now, obviously, the exercise for the neck is going to be for someone who has like shoulder blade pain, shoulder pain, maybe numbness and tingling down the arm, and for the lower back, it's for the random hip pain. It's the pain along the inside or front part of the knee. It's numbness and tingling down to the foot. But I'm going to give you one exercise for each that I find personally is my top exercise that helps clear the spine for people. And you can see amazing improvement within honestly within 2 to 3 weeks, but usually on the first visit, it'll be enough to where like, oh my gosh, I think I'm actually going to get better. So let's go through the movements now. So the first movement is called a chin tuck. Okay. So a lot of times the joints in the mid and lower part of the neck, they shoot down into the shoulder and shoulder blade and can go all the way down the arm because all the nerves that come out of the neck go down your arm. So if any of those joints aren't working well and it interferes with the nerve, you're going to have symptoms somewhere down the arm or shoulder. So the first movement is, so you're going to sit up nice and tall and you're going to bring the chin straight back and forth like that. So make sure that you give it a good little push. If you're just barely going, you're not going to get enough. But you want to go as far as you can. So like you're bringing the chin straight back on a shelf. So my recommendation would be, let's do that for 1 minute, 5 times a day. It doesn't take long. It probably even takes 30 seconds to do this. And then just work on good sitting posture. If this doesn't seem to do anything, the next one I would do, I'm just throwing this in as a bonus, would be going here and going all the way back. Now, it is normal if you have some pain down your arm that's coming from your neck to start having soreness in your neck, but that's good. That's your body's way of healing. Okay, so let's talk about for pain down the leg. So I'm going to show you a press up. Okay, so you're going to be flat on your belly. You're going to relax your lower back and your bottom, and you're going to press up as far as you can and blow out. Try to let your back sag as far as possible. Now, most people are going to have some type of pain with this if they have a problem, which isn't a bad thing. Once again, just like the neck, you might have some soreness or achy pain in your back. But the thing you'll notice is within a week or two of doing this, you will know if this is helping this unresolved pain that you've been dealing with for a long time. So I am super excited for you to try this. I think you'll just be amazed. You know, if you get like 50% of the way and you sort of plateau, that's when it's time to come in, and let us evaluate you. Because sometimes, everything is personalized in here. So, that might help you, but that exercise might not help, someone else, or you just need a different exercise to add on to it, to keep progressing and keep getting better. So yeah, hopefully you can see some good improvement in that. Now, the next video we're dropping in a few weeks is called, we're talking about directional preference, which is the concept of finding your exercise. 70% of people have an exercise that will change their symptoms in 2 or 3 weeks, and they're blown away by that. So I'm super excited to talk about that. I like talking about that just as much as talking about the spine. So yeah, tune into that, and we'll talk about your directional preference.